Hey you guys. Hey you guys. It's us. We're back. And we're open, but we're not like, we're open-esque. We're open adjacent. So today we're not gonna be doing Sherlock. We're not gonna do a PSA. And you know what? I'm gonna have to edit that title and put featuring R.L Stine. Sorry. Um this is happening in real time, period. Because we're gonna try to get rid of this dumb cat that just will not leave people alone, and then we're going to go ahead and pronounce what we're doing today. So no PSA, no Sherlock Holmes. Today we're going to review Goosebumps, Stay Out of the Basement by R.L Stine. We're gonna go a little bit into my like childhood, just a little bit, because I was a big R.L Stine fan. I was a big R.L Stine fan. And it has to do with flowers. So we're gonna flower. I got my flower dress, I got my plants in my head. We're gonna do this. So of course, as always, it's me. Well, it's Scott, it's you guys, it's me, and it's these raggedy neighbors that we about to look and watch and not get close to. Much like flowers in the attic, we're not gonna get close to it. We're gonna just observe them and just talk, just gossip, because that's what we do. Scott, what say you?
Kind of like flowers in the basement.
Addict. Was flower in the oh yeah. Oh, I see where you're going. Oh, Scott. Score one for Scott. For Scott. Yeah, it is. It's a appropriate level of child neglect on this one. Like this, yeah, this is the amount of child neglect I can handle. I can tolerate this amount of child neglect. They're older, no one's starving, kind of, but this is the appropriate level of child neglect for me. So once again, R.L. Stine, bum 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 bum. There was like a Goosebump show, and that's how it started. Remember, Scott? Bum 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 bum. Goosebumps. So, boom. This is what we're doing today. Are you ready, Scott? Do you need Teddy Buddy?
I'm ready, but I do have a question since you brought up the show.
Oh, what is
Did
the
they have
question?
an episode for this?
They did. Totally, they did. And it was good. It was pretty good. Okay, so wait. Oh, you didn't watch the show?
Oh, I mean, I've seen it, but I don't remember all the episodes and what books.
Okay, well, let's get on with it. So, you got the two main characters. They're always with R.L. Stine. There are always like two characters. So you got the two main characters, Margaret, who's the oldest, and Casey, who's a boy, and he's the younger of the two siblings. And so, Casey's outside and he's asking his dad, who's a doctor, botanist. I think that's how you say it. A person that grows plants. So, his dad's a botanist and he's like, "Hey dad, you want to play frisbee with me?" And his dad just scutters off. He's just like, "I don't got time for you. I ain't got time for your little ass. I got botanist stuff to do." And so he just scutters off and leaves them. Again, there's child neglect here, but the appropriate levels of child neglect, not like extreme. We're just gonna whittle that down. And so, Margaret looks over and she feels bad for her little brother. So she's like, "Hey, I'll just go ahead and play with you. Let's play frisbee." So they play frisbee and they're over there, having conversations about what's going on. And Margaret's like, "Dad don't ever spend time with us. Dad used to call me princess. He don't call me princess no more. He's very neglectful. He's very shameful. And it's crazy because he should have more time to spend with us because he's unemployed. He got fired from his job."
Oh, got fired as a botanist?
Yeah, from the university. I don't even know how you do that. Like, did you not grow plants? Did you kill them like I do?
Yeah, plants don't grow. Get rid of your botanist.
Well, we're going to figure out why. Because we got some more characters that's going to jump up in here. So, it's like, and so they're discussing like, Dad got fired from his job and, who do you think did it? And they're like, Mr. Martinez, who came over for dinner that one day. And, they're just having general conversation as children do about their father being unemployed, trying to figure out why he's unemployed. And so eventually they get hot and tired because I believe they're in Arizona. No, they're in California. So, they get dry mouth. So they run inside to get something to drink. And the mama's in there deveining shrimp. And they start complaining to her, like, Dad don't ever spend time with us. And the mom's like, oh, he's really busy down there trying to, do some crazy weird experiment so he can get a job again. Because he unemployed. Leave me alone so I can devein this shrimp, is basically what she's saying. And so they're like, oh, well, maybe we should go down there and visit Dad. Maybe we need to come to him, and maybe he wants to show us his whatever the hell he got going on down there. And so they go down there, and the dad hears them on them steps, and he come up and he like, stay out the basement. Stay out the basement. Scott, look at me. Do I look scary? Stay out the basement.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, don't go in there. Stay out of the basement. But he probably put some curse words in there. But this is a children's book. We're doing children things. That's not cursing. So, that's going on. And so they're like, oh my God, we got to stay out the basement. So a few weeks later, like 2 weeks later, I should say, a couple of weeks later, the mom, has to go out of town to go visit her sister in Arizona. That's where Arizona comes from. She has to go and visit her sister in Arizona. Well, not visit. Her sister has surgery and she's in the ICU and she needs somebody to take care of her. So the mom's like, well, y'all too old enough and your daddy don't ever come out the damn basement. So let me just leave y'all here with him. Make sure he eats. And she literally says that. Make sure he eats. Because I'm gonna go over there with your auntie down to Tucson, Arizona, and help take care of her. AKA, she probably got a side dude.
No, is that what that probably means?
Maybe. I'm sure the sister had somebody to watch her. She needed a break. She was tired of that man acting crazy, going down in that basement all day. So now Margaret's little friend Diane is there. I like Diane because she keeps it very real for a child. Like, I love her. She's like my fave character. I feel like she doesn't have enough parts in here. So Diane is like, okay, well, bye, Mrs. Bruiser. Bye, Mom. We just gonna call her Mom. Bye, Mom. So the mom yelled down in the basement and tell the dad, get your up out the basement and come on, take me to this airport so I can see my side dude. Take care of my sister who had surgery. And so he takes her on. So they gone. So Diane, who I like as the little friend who I like, she was like, oh, let's go down in the basement and see what your daddy doing. So they go down in the basement. She was like, he over there hiding stuff. Girl, y'all don't need to be, this y'all house too. Let's go down in the basement and see what he doing. And so they all go down in the basement. So they go down there. It's super duper, super hot. And so Casey takes his shirt off. Like Nelly. Nelly says it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. He's got the song before it even came out.
All right.
Right. So Casey asked a question, and this is where I get this title from. I think he got fired for stealing. I do, because Diane asked a question. And see, this is why I like her. So I'm going to read it for you. The plants, in fact, resemble jungle plants, leafy vines and tall tree-like plants with long, slender tendrils, fragile-looking ferns, plants with gnarly cream-colored roots poking up like bony knees from the soil. It's like a swamp or something, Diane said. Did your father really grow these things in just 5 to 6 weeks? Sir, how you got a whole damn jungle, a whole Amazon rainforest in 5 to 6 weeks? Scott, did you know that can grow like that?
I didn't.
I think he got fired for stealing. Now, here come Casey talking about, or Margaret. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, she replied, staring at an enormous red tomato on a slender yellow stalk. Girl, when tomatoes grow in 5 to 6 weeks? We just took a gardening class. That is not how that works. What say you, Scott?
No, I don't think so. Huh?
That daddy was stealing. Again, this is what you can do as the nosy neighbors. You can speculate. That daddy was stealing. That's what he got fired for. So, they go on through. Now these plants have some, besides being too big to be grown in 4 to 5 weeks. Another feature they have is they're breathing. Like the plants are like like a prank phone call. You know how people call your phone? Well, they used to back in the day. I don't know what they do now, because now everything has a screen. Remember back in the day when you would prank call Scott and just breathe on the phone like well, that's what the plants were doing. They were just taking deep breaths and exhaling like they were in labor. And they also had another fun feature. Do you know what the fun feature was, Scott?
What's that?
They moaned. They were like, ooh. Do I sound like a whale?
I do.
That's a whale. I've been practicing whale sounds, and that's what it sounds like in my imagination. Ooh. I'm a whale. Oh, even the cat looks. Scott, look. Okay, sorry. So the plants were making those two sounds. They were moaning and breathing and huffing and puffing like they was in labor, honey. They was in labor, child. So, they were like, oh my, this is crazy. And it's like super hot in here. But all of a sudden, well, they go back upstairs because they like, it ain't gonna take this long for dad to drop her off at the airport. And damn well he gonna come up in here. He didn't told us to stay out the basement. He gonna come up in here and he gonna come right down to the basement and catch us. So they go on back upstairs. Diane's like, toodaloo, I gotta go. Your daddy weird. I gotta go. I'm going home. And she leaves. And they're about to just kind of go off and go their own way. But here come Casey talking about, oh my God, I left my shirt down there, as the dad drives up on the driveway.
Uh-oh. What's he gonna do?
Well, Margaret's like, well, you just gonna have to leave it down there and hope he don't find it. But Casey's like, no, he gonna find it, and I'm real quick, it can happen. So, they were arguing about it. But luckily, and Scott will be very familiar with this part, luckily the neighbor came out and started yipping and yapping and yapping and yipping, as neighbors do.
Yeah.
So this is an autobiography now. This is a biography. This is now ceased to be fiction and now is a biography. So anyway, so the neighbor comes, and so she's like, oh, never mind. It's the neighbor that talked too much. So go ahead and go down there. You got plenty of time to go down there and do. I mean, honey, you can grow some more plants. You got enough time because this neighbor gonna be talking all day. And so Casey goes down there. Now, while Casey is down there, again, we're hearing, and we're also, the cat keeps looking at me when I do that. He knows I sound amazing. I should be a voice actor. So anyway, and also they hear whale noises and huffing and puffing. And so Casey's like all mesmerized. He's like, what in the hell? Like, plants ain't supposed to be doing all this. And so he's looking around. He almost gets to his shirt, but then all of a sudden, a branch, girl, it do this. All this is happening. All that is happening. Okay, something reach out and grab him. Like one of them plants got an arm, and it grabbed him, and it started dragging him. And so Margaret, he keep hearing Margaret like, Casey, hurry up. That man ain't talking as long as he usually do. Hurry up. And eventually, like, he can't help it because he's being dragged. This is happening to him. All of this is happening. And so, she got to come down there and help her brother out. But while she down there trying to help him, the dad come down. Look, it happens. It happens. So the dad come down and he like, what the hell y'all doing down here? Didn't I tell y'all not to come down here? So he was like, I ain't even gonna argue with y'all. Come on, let's go upstairs and let me just not really explain nothing. And so he was like, he took him upstairs and he was like, why were y'all down there? He was having like the dad talk. Why were y'all down there? And so they're like, Dad, you don't spend no time with us, and you neglectful, and we just wanted to see what you down there doing. Maybe we could critique it and tell you why you got fired, even though we know it's because he was stealing. So he's like, look, one day I'm going to tell y'all exactly what I'm doing down there, but I'm going to go back down there, and it may be tonight if y'all act like y'all got some sense, maybe tomorrow if y'all act like y'all got some sense, but eventually I am going to tell y'all what's going on down there. So they're like, oh, okay, cool, Dad, cool. He's great. He loves us. He cares about us. He gave us a little attention. And so they go to bed. The next day they come and there's a whole padlock on the damn door.
Oh, Dad wants him out.
He said, stay out the damn basement, stay out the damn basement.
Yeah, it's business.
Okay. So the mama eventually called to check on these people. And Margaret is like, girl, like if you thought you didn't see him before, he really don't come out the basement. Okay, girl, we ain't seen this man in days. And she's like, when we do see him, now he wearing a baseball cap and it look crazy. Like he just look crazy. He's just out here acting crazy. Okay, get your husband, ma'am. And she's like, when you coming back? And the mama was like, girl, your auntie then went to surgery and she got worse. Meaning, let me translate that for everybody. Scott, you ready for the translation?
I'm ready.
I ain't ready to leave my side, dude. It's really good. He's scratching that itch. It's not in the book, but it should be in the book. And as the nosy neighbor, I feel like I'm entitled to tell you that. So anyway, so, Casey's like, ugh, oh my gosh. So her and her brother are just trying to maintain things. And eventually, wait. I got to go to my notes. I'm sorry, y'all. I got lost in the story. Okay. Oh, okay. So we had the hat thing going. So they go over to Diana's house and they playing frisbee over there. And then they come back to the house and their daddy just happened to come out the basement. Girl, we had a Bigfoot sighting. And Casey's like, okay, maybe I can just like juice up my dad, like playing frisbee with me. If I just throw the damn frisbee at him, maybe he'll see me. He throws the frisbee. It knocks the head off his head. Why is he sitting there looking like me? Why is he sitting there looking like me, Scott? He has plants growing out his head.
Oh, wow.
He had plants growing out his head. That's why he put on a baseball cap. And let's rewind a little bit. I forgot another thing. When Dad told them to stop coming to the basement, he had a big old cut on his hand and blood was leaking everywhere, by the way. So that's in the beginning. It's going to come back. It's a plot twist that I kind of jacked up. It happens. So, okay, he got flowers growing out his head and the kids are just looking at him. And Margaret keeps saying, I had to hold back all the waves of nausea. Like, girl, that's all it took? Just some plants growing out this man's head? Girl. Okay, girl. So, she's having waves of nausea. So the daddy sit them down and he's like, okay, I know this look weird as hell. But remember when I told y'all I was going to tell you something? Boom. Let me just go ahead and try to cover some of my tracks. Your mom told me y'all are a little weirded out that I never, ever see y'all. Okay. I don't do shit with y'all. I don't care about y'all really. So let me give you a little tidbit of what I'm doing. I'm about to change flowers. I'm about to change science. I'm about to get the Nobel Peace Prize.
Wow, university missing out.
Like I am that dude right now. I had a teacher like that when I was in high school. He said he could cure. He knew he had the cure for AIDS. So I feel like he was given that kind of energy. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, well, Dad, what are you working on? He was like, do y'all know about DNA? Do you know DNA? Do you know that? Well, I've learned to take one DNA and put it with the next DNA. I didn't took animal DNA and put it with the plant DNA. Period.
Okay.
Who asked for this? No one. Who's gonna get it? Everyone. Period. And so they're just like, okay, but can you tell us about them flowers growing on your head though? And he was like, look, I told you enough. This is I done spent my little required 5 minutes that I told your mom I was gonna spend with you. And let me get on back downstairs and I'm gonna lock this door. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Skedaddle, go find something to do. And he left and went downstairs, flower plants on his head and all.
Well, good for him.
Hey, he had boundaries and he kept them.
Yeah, if I had plants on my head, maybe I could have avoided a drag.
Yeah, you could have. Scott got dragged on YouTube. He's a celebrity. So anyway, so this is where, here come my girl Diane one more again. So Diane over there, and she's like, girl, let me tell you something. I've been having nightmares about what we saw downstairs in that basement. It was a mess. Girl, all that hood. It was a mess. I've been having nightmares. And so Casey's like, oh girl, me too. Or not Casey, Margaret is like, oh girl, me too. It is a mess down there. That was crazy. And so some kind of way, somehow, Diane keeps saying your daddy a mad scientist. And somehow, some way they get on, my dad worked with your dad, and my dad told me why your dad don't work at the school no more. Okay. So let me read it to you. So she says, my dad was talking about your dad the other night. Diane flipped the disc to Casey. I like Diane. You didn't tell him about going in the basement, did you? Margaret asked anxiously. No, Diane replied, shaking her head. My dad said that your dad was fired from Polytech because his experiments got out of control and he wouldn't stop them. Diane confided. She ran along the smooth, closely cropped grass, chasing down a frisbee. What do you mean? Margaret asked. The university told him he had to stop whatever it was he was doing, and he refused. He said he couldn't stop. At least that's what my dad heard from the guy who came into the sales room. Margaret hadn't heard this story. It made her feel bad, but she thought it was probably true. Something really bad happened in your dad's lab, Diane continued. Someone got really hurt or unalived or something. That's not true, Margaret insisted. We would have heard if that happened. Girl. Now, all this weird foolishness is going on, and you over there like, no, girl, yes. Your daddy got leaves growing out his head, and he talking about he the bomb.com, mil.org.gov, and edu because he's splicing animal and plant DNA. Now, your friend trying to tell you what happened, and you ain't listening. She tried to tell you that your daddy was stealing, but you didn't listen to that either. But whatever. What? So anyway. So Diane ends up leaving. She's like, girl, you ain't trying to hear what I got. I'm setting it down. You ain't picking it up, sis. Whatever. I gotta go. And so, they go in, blah, blah. Casey decides to stay outside. Margaret decides to go in because she's hungry. Now she peeping around, she creeping. And she's in there and she sneaks around the corner, but her daddy don't hear her. He over there shoveling something in his mouth. And she's like, I wonder what he doing. But something telling her, just hang back, sis. Just hang back. Okay? You don't want to run up on him too quick. He crazy. He got plants growing out his head. You don't want to run up on that one too quick. So, she wait till he done. He throw something in the garbage can. She go and looking what this fool eating. He eating plant fertilizer. Now, sir, They ain't putting together all these clues. I'm like, that man trying to make himself into a damn plant. So, life goes on. So Margaret is just over there stressing out. Casey, like, Dad's fine. He don't give a damn. He got daddy wounds. He got daddy wounds. Scott's phone's ringing. He got daddy wounds. So a bunch of other stuff kind of happens. Namely, okay, they catch him bleeding green ectoplasm. Like, he out that cut that she saw that one time, it's green blood coming out of it. He was cleaning it one night. Also, she go into his room like one morning because she want to have a talk with him because they ain't seen his ass because he a deadbeat. It's giving deadbeat. And the covers are just kind of moving. It's just like, pretend these are the blankets. And it's just moving. And she rips them back and there's dirt and worms underneath the blanket. Like, a girl. And so, these days are going, these days are long, these days are discovery. So, one day they outside, like, they have another conversation with their dad. They should have just left him alone. They outside playing. He calls them in. He's like, hey, guys, come on in the house. Come on in here. I got something special. And so they go in and he's like, hey, I made y'all lunch. And they're like, you don't ever make us lunch. Why you make us lunch? And he's like, don't worry about it. I got some stuff. Y'all my guinea pigs. And so he plops it down and they said it looked like green mashed potatoes and it smelled awful. And so they were like, we don't want this for lunch. We could have a damn sandwich. We don't want this. And he was like, eat that. Eat it. Eat the cake anime. Eat it. He was very aggressive. Eat it.
Wow.
And so they over there like, what the hell? Now, me, I would have called 911. I'd be like, look, I'm not playing these games with him. But they were sitting there cowering. But thank God the doorbell rang. Thank God for doorbells. Shout out to doorbells. And it's Mr. Martinez, the man who maybe fired him, maybe didn't, but is the supervisor. And so he comes and Dad is like, oh, what you doing here? And Mr. Martinez was like, I got dropped off. My car's in the shop. I ain't got nothing else to do. I refuse to just sit in the car dealership all day. So I decided to just pop over here. I told you I would check in on you and your experiments. You know it wasn't me who got you fired, right? You know I like you, right? You know you my favorite employee. It wasn't me, but the board said you was doing too much. Kind of like what Diane was saying, right? Mm-hmm. So, he was like, okay. And so Mr. Martinez like, show me all them plants. You said you was doing the best thing ever. You about to get a Nobel Prize, a Purple Heart. Show me your stuff. Show me what you got. And Dad is like, I ain't ready for all that. Mr. Martinez was like, I ain't got no car. I ain't got nowhere to leave to. I'm not going to the car dealership to sit there for 10 hours waiting on an oil change. Show me them plants or else you ain't going to never get a job again. He didn't say all that. This is a children's book.
Can't say that in a children's book.
I mean, you can, and maybe I'll make a children's book that says it, but not in this children's book, Scott. Be reasonable. So, he's like, okay, let's go downstairs. Yeah, you're right. Let's go downstairs. Let me take this padlock off and go downstairs. So they go downstairs. So Casey and Margaret go off on their way and do what children do. But eventually, Casey was like, look, Margaret, this dude, we might have to call CPS on him. We gonna have to do something drastic. So next time he ain't here, what we gonna do? Or we gonna have to go back down in that basement. I mean, hell, the last time we were there, something grabbed me and tried to pull me in like the Audrey 2. on Little Shop of Horrors. There's all this moaning and breathing and stuff. It sounds like OnlyFans. It don't say that, but he might as well gave the breathe. If you gonna give me a pep talk, give me a pep talk. It's all this moaning and breathing like OnlyFans, baby. It sounds like a whorehouse. And I'm not saying OnlyFans is whorehouse, but let's go down there and crack this case. I don't know what they were going to crack, but whatever. Now, Margaret had talked to Diane earlier that day, and Diane was like, girl, what you need to do is call the police. The most reasonable person in the book. This is why I like her. Because I would have called the police. I'd be like, I think my daddy stole all of the stuff from the university. That's all she had to say. My daddy a thief. He got all these damn plants. Look at it. He got all these damn plants that he stole from his job. And that's probably why he got fired, but he's a thief. Come get him. If you're going to be neglected, I mean, you might as well get him out of there. So anyway. So he's like, next time he leave and go somewhere for a long time, which is rare, we going down there. We going back to ground zero. So the opportunity came because remember that neighbor, the Chatty Patty neighbor? Mm-hmm. Chatty Patty neighbor was like, oh, I need help. So I need you to help me fix my sink. To which I would have said no. Scott, what would you have said?
What's wrong with it?
See, this is how Scott get caught. This is why Scott the one who get talking to all day. So anyway, so he was like, so the Chatty Patty neighbor needed help with his sink. So the daddy got his tools and went on over there. And so they was like, this is our opportunity. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. So they go on down there. And again, there's breathing and moaning. There's huffing and puffing. Is like, yeah, it kind of sounds like Pornhub. Okay. Down there. And again, they almost get caught by the daddy, but luckily there was some squirrels down there, and the squirrel climbed out the window, so they climbed out behind them before the daddy could get there. But what they did find that was a little bit unusual was, remember I said Mr. Martinez was over there while his car was being fixed at the auto hobby shop, mechanic shop. Well, they saw him go down in the basement. They had left and went out and played, and they never saw him leave. But what they found down there was Mr. Martinez's clothes.
Okay.
And his wallet. Oh. Okay. But they didn't see Mr. Martinez. So at this point, they are shook. They are like, what in the hell?
Yeah.
This man got flowers growing out his head. He eating plant fertilizer. There's worms and dirt in his bed. He over here talking about DNA and animal DNA. He acting weird. His supervisor's clothes and wallet is here. I don't know. Again, at any point, somebody could have called 911, anything. I wouldn't have been sleeping in the house with them. Well, eventually, they sat around and waited for the foolishness. Eventually, he was like, the dad came and he was like, oh, your mama coming back. Your mama coming back. Huh? Isn't that great? Good. Somebody can supervise y'all so y'all can stop bringing y'all into the basement. So he was like, I'm on my way to go get her. He didn't padlock the basement, so it don't even matter. But Casey got a friend that taught him how to pick locks, so we good. It's all good in the hood, in the plant hood. So, Casey like, okay, cool. He was like, we need to go back down there again. I don't know why Casey likes to go down there because it's hot. Your daddy crazy, and I just wouldn't be playing with him. And plants are attacking you. And your daddy's supervisor body might be down there. And I just feel like at 11 or 12, I wouldn't want to find that. But
yeah, probably not.
these are children from the 90s. They're different. I was a child in the 90s, but these are different children. So they go back down there. And this time they decide, let's follow that moaning sound. We're going to have another PSA because I feel like people need to learn, like, no. Let's follow that moaning sound. So they go off following the moaning sound. And they get to, like, the dad's closet. Well, no, actually, they were down here this time to find a kite. They wanted to go play with their kite. And they was like, oh, well, let's just go in the basement and get our kite. I think it's down there. So they go get the kite, but they follow the moaning sound. And it leads them to this like tool shed part thingy closet. And they open it up, and there are a bunch of limbs, legs, and arms crawling, and it ain't got no body. It looks like, what is that? What was that from the Addams Family? That was just the hands. Cousin It? No, Cousin It was the hair thing.
Wait, the hand?
Yeah.
Was that Gomez?
No, Gomez was the. I'm done asking you. It looks like the hand. It was just crawling. It was grotesque. It was nasty. Don't nobody want it. Don't nobody want it.
That was monster,
Scott, we're moving on.
Well,
I know, but we're moving on. So, there are hands, there are arms, there are legs, there's this dumb cat. Like, there's just plant body parts everywhere. It is a mess. It is a mess.
Sounds like a mess.
But then they keep looking further in the closet, something I wouldn't have did. They keep going a little further, and there's a whole human body up in there, and it's moaning and it's groaning, and it's like, oh my God, help. And so they look, and it's their dad. He got leaves growing out his head too, but it's their dad. And so they pull the ball gag out his mouth, and they're like, didn't you just go pick mom up from the airport? And he's like, that's my clone. Hurry up and let me go. That's crazy. You got to hurry up. We in danger. And so, they were like, we don't know whether to let you go because this is kind of weird that there are two of you. Like, we don't know what to do. And I mean, both of y'all got flowers growing out your head. So this is very weird. What? Why are you laughing?
That would be weird.
It's just a weird thing going on. The whole situation is a problem.
More weird than just sitting there like, oh, this is weird. Probably go run.
I would have been called the police, but that's just me. I don't play games like that with these people. Also, he was like, hey, Mr. Martinez is further back in here because he threw him in here because he knows we gonna stop him because we ain't playing with Swamp Thing. And so, they hear the car pull up, and in comes the other dad and mom. And mom is just sitting there like, girl, I don't know what to do. But I mean, if y'all don't resolve this quickly, I'm just going to go back to Arizona and get up with my boo thing again. Because I didn't have these problems when I was there. You don't think she thought that?
She probably did.
Because she ain't got double the husband, plants growing all out his head, one eating plant food, like just doing too much. The other than lock the other up in the tool shed closet. Like, girl, this is a lot. She could be with her boo thing at the bar.
It's a lot.
So eventually, both of the dads are sparring off. One got an axe in his hand. Margaret takes the axe and she's threatening both of them. And both of them are like, oh my God, I'm your dad. I'm your dad. Then one calls her princess. The one that was locked in the closet he was like, princess, look, girl, you my daughter, princess. Get it together, sis. Well, no, then she had Casey get her a knife and she cut the dad that called her princess, and red blood came out, not green.
Oh.
And she was like, that's my dad. Because my dad is a red-blooded American, botanist, he's that dude. And so she ended up hacking up the other one. And do you know he was just a stem? Like when she got the hacking, it was just a long stem.
Yeah.
He was not a real person. He was not real. Just a stem. So then, that gets the ass and the dad like, okay, so what was that about? And so dad was like, look, I did get fired for doing some crazy experiments and allegedly stealing. I'm just gonna throw that in there. And I did continue the projects in the basement because that's me. That's what I do. And one day I cut my hand and it mixed with some plants, and accidentally I started making plant parts. And that's what you see in that closet. It's fine. And eventually I kept going to the point where I made myself. And he overtook me, and ta-da!
This all makes so much sense.
It does. Ta-da! That's what happened.
All right.
And so then he was like, look, I'm gonna chop down all these plants. I'm not gonna do this no more. Mr. Martinez was like, dude, you made a whole plant human. Come back to the university. Ends happy, right? Come back to the university. You probably should get a Nobel Peace Prize. We could like make AI girlfriends or plant soldiers or something with this.
Maybe.
Yeah. Body stunt doubles. We could do something with this. And so that happened. And then at the end, Margaret is outside in the backyard. This is a fun ending. She's outside in the backyard and a little flower comes up and he's like, and it's like, Margaret, I'm your daddy. Help me. Help me. It was the chopped up remains of the not dad.
Oh.
That's how it ends, period.
Okay. Wow.
What do you think, Scott?
That was interesting.
What are your lessons learned?
Probably shouldn't cut yourself around plants.
Period. Don't do that. It could turn into this. My lesson learned is just call the damn police. If it ain't right, just get the authorities. Don't be sitting there trying to figure it out and wait it out and hoping and wishing and praying and all that foolishness. Just call the damn police. Don't let the plant people almost push you in a closet in a hot basement. It's crazy. Okay, so last but not least, we gotta get our little snacks. I went to the Asian food market. Do you want ramen snacks? You want to try our scallops?
Both sound good, so whichever one you want.
Oh my God, you're no help. Okay, so we're going to do crispy ramen snacks, garlic flavor. I'm interested. I heard these things are good. Ooh, that's a lot. Oh, they're good. Oh, these are good. Totally get them.
Yeah, nice.
Oh my God. They're so good. I'm having a great time. So, okay. With that, we're going to bid you guys adieu. Oh. It's time for us to, go on our way. So, from wherever I am to wherever you are, peace, love, and happiness. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.